What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we're going to be bantering about the state of the 2023 Miami Marlins. Now, before I get into the breakdown of this franchise, we are going to have a corresponding article up on laracuenteledger.com, and links to that article are down in the show notes below if you want to take a look at the full breakdown. Now, we begin looking at the Marlins' major acquisitions. And when it comes to major acquisitions, Luis Arraez is the big pickup for the Miami Marlins. This was an interesting trade because the Marlins would trade from what was looked at as a position of strength in their starting rotation. But to me, it was a little bit of a weakening because of trading away Pablo Lopez. But that is not to discount the value that Luis Arraez can bring to this Marlins roster. I think that by having this contact-oriented player atop of this order, this is a guy who can kind of filter that mindset throughout the course of this young lineup. I think that by pairing him right next to a guy like Jazz Chisholm, it could be a very, very good influence for that Miami Marlins clubhouse as well as the offensive production. So a big time move, big pickup for the Marlins, and a very good one in my opinion. And when it comes to the significant injuries, Sixto Sanchez is the guy that I'm paying attention to. I think that when we look at what this player was, this was once one of the top prospects in Major League Baseball. And by going into some of the injuries that he has dealt with over the past few seasons, have really kind of hindered that outlook on his potential for the upcoming 2023 season. However, if Sixto can prove that he is healthy, this is a player that is truly capable of really bringing back what was potentially lost by trading away Pablo Lopez. I think that Miami is really banking on a good season from Sanchez, and I think that he can provide that for them. As we look at the top prospect for Miami, it is a right-handed pitcher by the name of Yuri Perez. I think that when we look at what this player can be, a very close potential relationship with the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the National League, Sandy Alcantara, could truly benefit this player. I think that Perez has an opportunity to really start to develop and grow his craft in a very big way in 2023 and potentially even find himself on the Major League roster. I think that there is a lot to like about what this player has. There is going to be continued development that is necessary, but without question, this is a very good player for the Marlins to have in-house. Now, when it comes to the bold prediction, I am making a very unbold claim, but Sandy Alcantara wins back-to-back National League Cy Young Awards. I think that this player has become a true unicorn and anomaly in our sport. Complete games are not something that is even remotely relevant necessarily in today's game with pitch counts and limitations and all of such. But I think that for Sandy Alcantara, going out there pitching complete games the way that he has, especially last season, having 6 of them, this is a guy who is really taking on that mantle, that mantra of a workhorse, and absolutely taking on the ace mantle. I think that he goes into the 2023 season like-minded and really goes out there and puts on an absolute dominant show. Now, as we look at the divisional rankings, it's very little question that this is the 4th best team in this division. They are far and away light years ahead, in my opinion, of the Washington Nationals, who are behind them. But I do think that they are clearly behind the Braves, Mets, and the Phillies. I think that there is an opportunity for Miami to be maybe a little better than what people are expecting. I do think that Miami gets close to wildcard contention in 2023, but I don't think that they are going to surpass any of the 3 teams ahead of them, barring a major collapse by one of those 3 teams or multiple of those 3 teams. To me, Miami is a very good, young, up-and-coming, talented team, but they are clearly the 4th team in this division. Now, when it comes to grading out the pitching staff, it's an average grade. I give it a C overall. I think for Miami, obviously, a lot of it is based on the strength of Sandy Alcantara. There there's an opportunity that a guy like Sixto Sanchez could come back and have a very good season for them. But I think that when you look at this pitching staff as a whole, there's a lot of growth and development that still has to occur. So with having so much question as to what they actually can expect from these pitchers and this staff, it has to be an average grade. Likewise, when it comes to the offensive ranks of this team, there are some players to get excited about. Jazz Chisholm, Luis Arraez are just to name a couple. This is a team that, in my opinion, could very easily find their way into that wild card mix. I don't think that they're going to be able to surpass the 3 teams ahead of them to claim anything sort of this division. But I also think that they're going to be in and around the hunt, which is going to help them continue to grow and progress. I think that there are some players in this offense that are going to have very solid seasons in 2023. And if they can do that and really start to learn and grow at the major league level, mature in their craft, this is a team that could be very dangerous over the next coming couple of seasons. So I think that there's a lot to like, but for now, it's an average grade. We have to temper expectations when it comes to the Marlins offense. Now, in grading the offseason for the Marlins, again, likewise, it is an average grade. I think that they're dealing of a position of strength in Pablo Lopez to the Twins for Luis Arraez is giving them a different look and a different feel in that lineup. I do think that it was a very good move for them to be able to do that. I think that they still needed to do more, in my opinion. I think that this Marlins team is really at the cusp of proving whether or not they can be a contender. I think 2023 is going to be a very big season for them. And I don't necessarily know that their offseason was the greatest, and that's why it gets an average grade. Now, when it comes to grading out the franchise as a whole, again, likewise, it is an average franchise right now. There are serious players to be paying attention to in 2023 and beyond. There are serious questions as to what can truly be expected from other players. So I think that when you look at what this franchise is capable of, they're going to be a team that potentially is in the wild card hunt, maybe that 3rd wild card spot. But I also believe that there are possibilities that this team could regress a bit in 2023. That being said, I think that there's a lot to look forward to over the next coming couple of seasons if you're a fan of the Miami Marlins. I think that they do have some players that are really on the up and up in 2023. The question beyond the on-field staff is how exactly is this ownership group going to fortify this team? We know that Derek Jeter left prior to last season, and there was some disgruntled ways of disagreement of how this organization was being run in year number 5 of the plan. And so we have to question exactly what the direction will be from this ownership group. Are they going to invest? Are they going to spend in this team because they believe that you can build a winner in South Florida? Or is this going to be another one of these build these stars up to trade them away and rebuild once again? So we're going to have to wait and see exactly how this franchise plays out. But overall, it's going to be an average grade for 2023. But I want to hear from you, baseball fans, Marlins fans. Let me know, what are your thoughts on your team in 2023? How are you feeling about your chances towards a wild card hunt, towards a postseason berth? Let me know that down in the comments, or find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball. You can also follow our social media outlets beyond Twitter at Instagram and TikTok at Baseball Banter Broadcast. If you want to show more support, you can head over to our website, laracuenteledger.com, where we have a corresponding article up on the state of the 2023 Miami Marlins, as well as many other articles covering the world of Major League Baseball and some other topics. If you want to show more support beyond that, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com. It is our merchandise shop where you can use a ton of the promo codes that we have up top on the banner. So if you want to show more support for us, that is another way to do so. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button here on this YouTube channel, make sure you hit that, as it does a huge service as we try to continue to grow this baseball community. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast listening platform, I thank you. I ask you to hit the 5 stars and leave a rating or review, as it helps us move up the algorithm for the podcast as well. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Keep it locked in on the Baseball Banter broadcast as we broadcast and banter about the world of baseball. Peace.